area free Parc de France. Yentie manager Mikel Arteta.
Even clearer. So depends. I think it would be different moments. Like you had the first leg. Obviously, the result brings a lot of clarity. What both teams have to do for us is even clearer. So that's it. And there are players on that team. They have experienced that in many situations. So I was looking at the amount of time that they play ties and how many times they have tried. So we are here. It's our opportunity, and we're gonna make it happen. Depends. I think it would be different moments. Like you had the first leg. Obviously, the result.
Manager Mikel Arteta, some other two one himself coach, now brother press conference. Abbas one some at the take Emma Bobo Kwafan say Liverpool Archers Kutia Kakra and some concentration back could be say now Ubaye will be answer Bonnie Diamo Bawo Yajmanum Dia can say be icing on the cake and no I say be Arsenal Abaje title and some other so now so Abayajman at the brain and you want him say the Gunners Virginia your fan South Trophy almost title Jenny there will be to make title Crano Yana the Yanasa we bring out the right moment our the right place and no and just say our title Geno and also let me boom now Liverpool Premier League title so now so now we are Crano one more points from Munya when you compare last 2 seasons points are Arsenal and so Gadaya woman to me on Fanje title and so now so somebody I was so actually Liverpool yet Liverpool 4 and some other side points at the Premier League as woman also and Chelsea said this season and Casanam gono kakre more 4 niti obaso Chelsea sanke the points and Akandia and Arsenal woman to Premier League ni mienu and yes woman also now the right moment I was say the right place and sana what me agitate to yentie coach na your fan Mikel Arteta.
We're going to try to do this season. Winning trophies as well is about being in the right moment, in the right place. Liverpool has won the title with less points than we have in the last 2 seasons. With the points of the last 2 seasons, we have 2 Premier Leagues. So you have to be in the right moment, in the right place, Hopefully here we are in the right moment, in the right place in Paris to earn the right to win the final. We're going to try to do this season.
Just say the right moment at the right place. Our son Ansana, what a trophy at the Suna, so I'm say be an adri and some our Parino. I at the right moment. I'm Arsenal. I at the right place. I'm at the Gunners and San Omupokrano. Wama Kramudia Kwakwache. I get title and some Abafi. I'm on Yakutana. Your fan said declare rice and son of by rice. Wakasabi Asa, one more hour Julius Sayadana, Jomosobo Vatane. I had just a 1-0 and also down here at Janamum. Roberts were coming down and say, almost Sessa, I'm born, said Arsenal, as a bomb Bona Junior, I'm Congo Sissano. When you say, oh, boy, I am Pate and some other Sumane Casara, Bona Pate Bono. Yes, right, Debiania Basumesi, near Bob Benten, near Bo 1 year, near Bob Kabotamina, near Babaja, I Thomas Pate, declare race essay, recognition. I was out Katana, your father said Thomas Pate and Onya. Abasobona also Pate in Alabama. Wonya George Zaro among from Hanamum. Okay, mistake. Trebia, we are singing about Canamon Bono Boyna. Anasa Boyno Bona Woba. And the Mondimo was I was on Kebia Bonabasono. Was a Sabasobona Emma and no Ayasama Brontena. Your fans have rice and somebody Africa. My many opposite number and your coach and Diano Luis Enrique Dia. Or say, you want to just Ayana man for also almost 30 season. Okay, woman to be born in your to be shall go. No boys seem come and Enrique Dia was son into the Chelsea and Fanadia. So I could try better than PSG about 0-0. Now, yes, PSG about 77%. Opponent number 23. And then I just said, Bagajas a board of grandpa, Fakofi or funny possession. Now, send them a young fight. Now, start to say, and almost should go so rough. I just say, but be to me, now, coach, and say, no, oh, yeah, Jabina man phone him. Shall Udia Wara say, was some Obobo, what charge the soccer 500 euros, Bama, Sankabia Bobo say, Mimia 7,600 Ghana. I'm at Tanam, a popular stand. Name bar, not mine, no friend of faith, or Obian Shagonauko, Dabi Uko Triesca, Uncle Shabby Sanwa Inter, and some kind of bouncer will be about 2 teams. Nabasa, woman show class, or much as some power, and some kind of football. Was one why so be Triesca, sir, what to take it. and some other shop baller, and yet tinko, no one will go, never bubico, Gabi. I was so born in your fair. Madian in your first be a Pano, and some Nabanyas Kadaba because Sanipani trust can one man of value for money. Nippon on some abium. I know I Gentiana, Paris and Shama Bono, and young far beginning, and a gross Emma, now both possession quantity will be on Saturday Jumadiano, and on some mercy alcohol, unusable game and a Julia. Watching on about 222, and your coach on a birthday. Watching on the 8th of May, Nature Sora, your father San Luis Enrique Edin birthday. And I was opening. Why imagine sir we do birthday now sir Paris Saint-Germain elko our final ebia or saying and I feel ebesi akodo so what do I say what kind of sir the birthday cry or china but the year Paris Saint-Germain eba qualify ya nyame ya ma final na eba cause our Munich yentie coach na your fan Luis Enrique.
I have to say that I'm all enough like to don't think about too much in my happy anniversary, but okay, it was the same moment like last year against Dortmund. It was rest day 8th of May, and it was a very nice day, but I have the same opportunity to have a great day after the match, and I hope that is going to happen. But I don't know. If it is not, I am sure that I'm going to accept that with normality and no problem. I'll try to enjoy the match with my players, trying to give my best character and my best mentality to try to win the match. That's the goal. I have to say that I'm all enough.
Manager Francis Luis Enrique and some and so our buyer Casanin and I update and also Abame Ba and one match and Munafe update was Saka from an opinion you're different and so the minimum quick one say Manchester for no train medican to them outside Yamia Mochabe Bow at Barrow to Old Trafford, no Iñaki Williams, no Nico Williams, and no Oyan Sunset Omumia Samabi and Yamuba because 3-0 first like they said they are Manchester for and some Marco Fernanda Mama Real Madrid from a country and was say yes, who come as your player, I am back up and Pabana say Manco Fui and qualify for Champions League final. Woman qualifier on the Vim at a El Clasico. Number pass at the moment of Bolsa, ever free, now FC Barcelona. Woman to be unqualified for Yamia final because so and some of Munich, you know, about Bois, Ama Chesarobo Cavans of Madrid. Woman had that psychological edge over Bobo Cavans of Bolsa and I'm no Casino, makes a coach. Ever since an insana 4-2-3-1 Shaq Wanya na chesa madikari atuda da sa arda gulash afred your coach and say and I could never start a classico mekano no Jordan and then I Wednesday unimsa metesa kwato adamwa Lucas Vasquez other funny too chesa Raul Asensio ni abrantia your fan Shuameni and after from Garcia woman Adam master etiro and I medono and some I done Ceballos and abrantia your fan Federico Valverde omumino and some other Ebemiamedono Alda Gulash Abafa Nifa Jude Bellingham brother in ball patching for Vinicius no and some Obiano and some abon Broncos Adiamatum our branding no and some Kakefi Omasway and some not Aba Brown something no yet Amatisako beting projected I mean I said Madrid for line up no and some Babesiakona Madrid president to the minimum yes on you coach with the Abama say I see on Casabasa Wabakasa Jise Madrid at the title and San Ono Florentino Perez no what no and some other casa or no more and then what casa what no David on yourself for be cry it was on fashion to now young co and one match and young for update and some and some and play Midicamba and some Madamasa Tema Rafinha and your third goal Emma Bonsa Emma just a game on about 3-2 no Yabina Inter Milan supporters so many now superior so Amoko Shakubanya situation mamia na Jacoban say one more PNM Sam Go! What can maybe Real Madrid Danaman City will be able to say game you maybe now my Pia we answer Rodrigo who dignity Bobby amateur Mamma now qualify no BSL Russia Ako back and was San Siro near woman you know come back also let me take it my man said that Urama Wonye no oh that be Mr. coming question was it no mama said one woman I'm take it actually oh since you Pia Kono said that whoop your cranum you know you are fashion what day but until I'm on chassis there's a flight now for now or some majame bag or me amount hey Bama won't be there to whoop your free moi woman will be a because Omusuno Momadi can fear and I just a chubby I take career 3 muti go no extra time and also be one crank Mamma na Lamin Shamal William said Coca Tane Fansa La Gazzetta dello Sport our Italy hey I couldn't read yet just say and one now just be no sharak mesronya we are way domo omo criticize a referee baba so na Lamin Yaman kasa no ball akwadane boy no 17 years mebekan enwa no pasa the first time our ball game our San Siro na Gazzetta for say impression akwara no John enwa say said akwara so born born and said ye and send Arantes to Nascimento Pelli about the ball awanya no baby call won say akwara no ball to say Diego Armando Maradona and a biam akwara no ball and some arisa Lionel Messi won bon perform yen sawe omon kwagina a Barcelona Gazzetta for the boy won say be a game we are singing hwebie na chese we are singing anyone said akwara no e fa ball untimi njebu ma bakuni onye aso damu ni fa be kuma suye na chese utwam ni ade wo goalkeeper stretch yi ba kwara ketwa wo do bra to ha no yi no de na bra 36 year old young soma akwa no yi a chese akwara twetwetwe na bra enkasa ni nompam a chese akwara no badwuma pa entwom so bo akwara na ye for say Lamin Jamal and some abaso ababram no kasa ni nyina no and some way the former so ye and some abana de wo hwere bi ni ha na de efa kwa na last one buna bansa fonya kanta bi akwa ne kati in kitwa bi je body ni ha we na obi akwa bi so body say ha Lamin na ha na soma denensan won ana battle ball to corner nanu omo wi shero di kama me yan soma on save because me can no point say what a man of the match na Jan Soma and yabisa Sabama akoda na kire o 36 akoda no 17 na sa unfie no kwa chemu mienu kwa na abisa so na ro ojafa na Barcelona so Lamin Yamal save no yen and one am say last one kwa de e bi enom and the most important one na na ne die person no enso manya sa conference say save no and the conference ama intama extra wo so aya adwuma no kama yentie goalkeeper ye fa no Jan Soma e wa branwa was service situation adwuma Inter.
I think we saw a lot of situations before the game that he's coming inside, he have the ball near his feet and then he shoot quickly, and in the end, I was speculating a little bit, and looks good. Maybe it was the most important one because of course we had some situations we struggled. We had to defend well in the whole game. It was tough for us, and so I was really happy to save this ball because it gave us a little bit power. It gave us the confidence back in this for these last minutes. I think we saw a lot of situations before the game that he's coming inside, he have the ball near his feet and then he shoot quickly, and in the end, I was speculating.
No, again, some branch fans, Jan Soma, and I'll tell man of the match award winner, Dennis Summer to Gadiafa. I guess saves Melubia no, not just no, and some crucial man, no, Azores of Inter Milan. Now, Yabusa Jan Soma, say, and I Paris Saint Germain, and as Arsenal, Umpo, Muba Kunabana, Whoop at the here, will you chance my Jan Soma to either Sabia, say, or choose a Bobo Cavans, a PSG, and also choose Arsenal, no, Yentia Soma.
It's Arsenal, one of both in Munich. What do you want? What do you think?
To be honest, it really doesn't matter. it really doesn't matter. Now we are enjoying this moment, and then we will see tomorrow night against who we are playing in Munich. In a final, it's one game. Both teams are good, so it will be a good final, and I'm looking forward to it.
This Arsenal, one of both in Munich. What do you want? What do you think?
Jean Soma now tell your dinner excepts Emma your till for another pay live on Wontumi our Bridge Media. Your fan say Wontumi Sports Buffet. You're also adding later Sunny at the Emma Unimsa Danzo Downface. Fanama me no play. But the record about on both legs, you know. One you're involved in 5 goals out of the 7 almost say was 2. And we assist Emma come and somebody no pano. Now Unimsa you say send the record and a bunch of us at Danzo Dumfries, you know, one and about the 3rd player were involved. Our 5 goals move and some of the semi-finals because semi-finals, you know, and maybe came Alessandro Del Piero 97-98, you know, now involved in 6 goals and a semi-final and what to Roberto Firmino, what kind 2017-2018 season and some of our Liverpool now involved in 5 goals. Our brother Danzo Dumfries and Suobia, one of some Arab our sub bracket anymore. Now, made the accepts Emma Nano per way and some other different Sherlock Fanamami was in our first time almost at that Barca for so and a second half Barca called local room a buyer and a bouncer about my just almost game and swap. Danzo Dumfries after some normal qualifier and what do we born the first half and the performance of Barca done at the our first Tosumi and Mono Yentia Dumfries after the game.
Difficult because first half was good, we had them under pressure. Second half, we couldn't come out over 16. It was very difficult to press them. You know, Barca has a lot of quality, individual quality players, so it was very difficult. But overall, we fought until the end, and I think we came back as amazing the second half.
What would you say that Inter has that makes it you going into that final and not Barcelona?
No, it was so close to each other. It was very close to each other. We believed until the end, and we fought until the end. But to be honest, it was very close to each other. It was not. You cannot say what was the difference. Yeah, very difficult because first half was good. We had them on the pressure.
Wontumi Kasebia way, anyway, they make it difference. And I say, way now, so they make it. I get difference. I was some match in Enra. Bouncer for say, Ralph dig game there, Fansa Simon Machiniak was Sisumo. Nana referee Simon Machiniak, Sisimoa. Bouncer for a cancer pin. I'm about so. When you say Pedri, I say, Enra, not Lami Yama born a penalty. Referee Machiniak, 1 year or Jennifer Empo, would you found a Argentina player now? Your father said Henrik Mkhitaryan. Woman yellow card because our time no Mkhitaryan, our yellow data. It is a common yellow and actors and comes and Kabia Unia and some Quano Junior Passende. I'm saying I was saying yellow and so a man and Kabia 10 amount to red card no Saka Henrik Mkhitaryan and some red and then I some Pedri and some other Tuka or red fancy with Gullet, a former player and so can be Gullet as a boy was here a penalty. No card junior passer, sir. I did Inter for Diana, Lautaro Martinez as he a penalty. According to Gullit as a bono, on the own sir, na a penalty. And a 3rd goal also Inter Milan Eshan was in a new Krasanka Inter. Ya Jugon Emma Inter there. Was it Dumfries and I smart because boy, now I was say a foul and I just want to so the Yaba. Now Ukos Pena, Tablos, I want to know a Yoko newspapers and spore. Woman about say referee Simon Machiniak, I be or no, and a woman bouncer, and Timian Quenimo. Now the terrible performance, I know, and I just say, I'm Inter for and some let me qualify and a sport and this house and some other buyer Namame Mundo Deportivo one more front page almost say referee polish of Poland now no Oyobia Emsa one Madrid our young kofa one more friendly history be as a referee I can ask him no Mundo Deportivo na reporters and some of them pro a bass and almost say referee na young kofa pa and Real Madrid and anya one was what destabilize a bass team and no and a match as a bass before you day and by what brand almost some 90 million qualify na new course and one in no report to me as a bass president president no yɛsɛ n'ani so ɔmo yɛ proud nti ɛno a wabra na kyerɛ sɛ players ayɛ down wɔn yɛ affected manager na sɛ president no ɛka kyerɛ boys no our dressing room say mo bia man around mo yɛ ade o na supporters no yɛ proud mo yɛ adwuma pa na nyame yɛ ma next year no wɔn abɛyɛ better ɛde akyɛn sɛ na mo yɛ ɛno anti mo ma ne hamo kra mo nyi mfiri mu because nyame yɛ ma Sunday yɛ o big game ɛbɔ a kyɛ sɛ ne nyinaa nso yɛ sɛm kakra firi mu ɛnso ɛde onsam no nyinaa no yɛde ɛmyɛtɛ fo yɛgu so no meka sɛ ɛno a coach no a yɛfa no Simone Inzaghi ane ne ba small boy wɔm nsom ayɛ celebration kakra ɛnsom awɔ kyɛ sɛ pɛkyɛ no so no mmom owura mfa no saa Marota Giuseppe owura Beppe Marota sɛ yɛmfa nto dwa sɛ Inter team no Ethiopia mu team Inter Beppe Marota sɛ coach wei wɔn ma ne nkɔ baabi amoamoɔ Saudi amoyɛ na yɛbɛfa no akɔ no Beppe Marota sɛ wɔn project wɔn yɛ no nyinaa no wɔn nso ade president anaasɛ coach no a yɛfa no sɛ Simone Inzaghi nso ɛna yɛ nkyɛ bia no also extended a contract ama side a yɛfa no sɛ na Razors of Inter na Inter coach no tie no din Inter coach no see the edikai I was saying I'm Barcelona abaso because Barca are a very strong team na I say sa Barca baller and I'm buying no so when your team I'm super Wontumi yi Barca mfrim enti Barca are a strong team enra na hia super Inter Milan ansana wɔn nso atimi qualify na de obaso kan nyina say Wusha Bona, one boy, our Barcelona, Asha Bola, and our Milan. A Barcelona, the best one can you answer Martin Bono, not just a bro super or you're proud, the boys no, one more Aya Juma, boys no trust, you can't leadership by example, woman lead the exemplary life, and Ra, Emma Chesania Basabo, the man could not coach, you know, what to Obabasa team, no, sir, Basa for us, almost say, Lami Yamampa, Lami Bobo, and not Wontumi be from Opopopa, no, was one who coach in the day, Ebia Monsan Corre Bonnie Beam. No abana for about doing command for Lami Yama Bobo Power be about baso but akwada way Henra one of the mama chiro papa according to Zagino was in Juma Dianga Bon and I know you're amazing and I don't know I'm just a new go Martinez and bias I said no see train quantity what you say not target me a chubby but a chubby come and anyano now so we fans say new go say one on your side didn't be crowded one to me tint so when opponent so dabi abasana wanya fair other best work can now so just when you have a celebrate guna sum crana and you cry some way be no and some that's animum the best work can now say what do you say Nyame Sunday El Clasico El Bosom and to boss and team Mobiano and your water not to any defeat way no problem ama bobokua ye fa no sa Barca defeat way have a Clasico no womo dia woden ana bam abababo omo busa De Jong eno ase De Jong na boy on say we player na bobo wi a otimi ko no wasa akwa hwe ball ni biem ana wo so wonom obi a wonya sa de no no ko behwe bibi fufura e bi ono ankasa na modern boy in the game ene bia highlight ne kakra bi no hwe ba so obesa tena sesum nchin womo sha Real Madrid womo sha Juve ama Tottenham and stop it Ayas wa Womama Ayas anko fine I was say South 2019 born ebesine won hwe biem some on hwe biem to no anya de say sa born mo dina tempo Ronaldo ara na pa me den story about Afedie won so nya ho to blame El Kakabo aye Gerard Martin ne wura Afedie ku gundu wa ya won dina tamaja ne kwama ne koye na Ronaldo ara wo say Barca team no surely won abasa bonso ba Champions League no won ba GP yeso mo na so dey say won so ko was what mo so tetete won nya de so ko ba obi anka nja no so pamono and the future so our Barca our GDA our Barca mo say ya dey Champions League no won ba gye more into obaboa mo ama chese do bi o sa mo gibia no gina kire pampe ama ma Champions League no and some that yes mo na so coach no yema has a flake ninsam ma chamu 2 na dikama me aye flake and o blame say aye referee after the game no was am ya disappointed no mom ade bia na 50-50 call bia no na referee ba bia pay akoma Inter a chese na 50-50 ni nyina no was one obi a won time can referees as but and what there referee Simon Masiniak na ano hye do yentie Barca coach Hansi Flick
pointed about that we are out So I'm disappointed, but not disappointed about the performance of my team. They try everything, and this is the thing, and of course we are out now, and but next year we will start again. We will start again, and we will make our fans, our supporters, and the club and everyone around us happy. What happened is it's like a match, it's also a really good team, they're a strong team, they defend well, but also they have really good striker, they keep the ball, the automatism of them, it's really good, but we make it, in the second half we make it really good. I think, for me it's I don't want to speak a lot about the referee, but I think it's every 50-50 decision was for them. And this is, we give everything, and at the end it's like that, and this is what makes me a little bit sad. I'm very disappointed about
referee no 50-50 ni nyina so call Edema Bobo Kwe fan say Inter Milan afei mama omubusa say license ben ana masua de free match ni mu ana nyame yarmo so Sunday El Clasico kwan ben na wo fo so atimi asaike won kwara na ama nyame yarma Sunday game no wo so akom yentie Hans Flick.
It's like that we are also want to learn.
Another thing, not only about the referee, but what do you think this young team can learn about this match?
We will learn. This is it's like that. I always say this is a progression. It's like that we are also want to learn, and we will do that. It's at the moment we have not so much time to train, but next season we will be back.
And the last one, how are you going to try to lead the spirits for the game on Sunday?
Now, first, it's normal. You're disappointed today. Tomorrow we have a day off, and then we start again on Thursday.
Another thing, not only about the referee, but what do you think this young team can learn about this match?
We will learn. This is it's like that. I always say this is a progression. It's like that we are also want to learn.
Take it on a satellite room, and I feel your sound war near kind of say Facebook and also I Wontumi TV and YouTube. I Wontumi TV live, but Biabe Fabian Juma, and so I will have your former Nafi. I am in Semina, I am Fadia Canon, so and my for an anope Blazman, Italy. Blaze, a very good morning from Ghana. My name is Juvenile Yanka. I know, me say, and to my interview, I Enrique Pa, and I'm going to farm a resca. What Mezana on where, dear?
Oh, Yamiadum fancy me here now, so
Yamiadum BBI fine. Okay. Well, Mike, now BBI fine there.
Oh, Yamiadum.
Okay. Yamiasapa, Medasi. Well, Meza, Yankwe.
Fancy ma yencheti for near meti for kwaba from now to be sports when I no pay. Na say we are see a wumi o bibiane nemre ana emre corona ebeba ne nebechere kwa obefa so a obe handle the kind of situation you find yourself in. The UEFA Champions League will always provide the platform for such lessons. A subum, a yawum, a dowsum, and I told the visual frustrations I can see any womb. Inti say utie the Champions League song now. Ebe catch us say the great teams, the masters. Fancy moment play a massive role in every single thing that happens in the UEFA Champions League, especially when it gets to the knockout stages. I believe in one thing, say Barcelona lost the tie yesterday through extra time, but fancy they've earned their respect again in Europe.
Barcelona lose tie.
Barcelona lost the tie, and
okay,
but they've earned their respect in Europe.
Okay,
again. Sure. After the 2019 at Liverpool, corner taking quickly no meboa.
How many Liverpool no?
There was a downhill for FC Barcelona. For the league in India, fancy within the space of that time, no crowd Xavi Hernandez by BG League maybe. But for European competitions, and I said it some time ago, say Barcelona group stage you can no muntimi qualify from the Champions League. They started the group phase like this. I'm saying there be Barcelona team way. Me who is so much qualify for the Champions League knockout stage. I'm not passing for say Debbie. I'm say Debbie. Team no enyam been through baby me who is so more money or more group in moment qualify. I think that group they had Bayern Munich in 10 in our Europa no. Benfica. And she come fast so struggle your moment in fan qualify. It's a one a bona ne woma Barcelona ne tiba form. E tiba form sa eba form. Ama mo ko Europa League no be any say Europa League no mo na beje. Ama Eintracht Frankfurt. Yeah. Ekoyi omo film na Frankfurt koje the Europa League need free Rangers in them.
Sabon na Juan Laporta say omo sua sebi. Nyansen frima there. Say Frankfurt for no be to take it as Barcelona fans.
To take it as Barcelona fans.
Monju korona almost supporters
in the pa bebre wom edifra. The following season Barcelona who almost off again in European competition. And also ko see say. Omo boy an knockout stages and say you no almost aba Europa League. And na Manchester United ne Erik ten Hag eyi omo free mu no. So the disrespect was there. So once a club since 1992, Ebabe Remu 2004, 2005, 2006. Fancy the upliftment of Barcelona always saw them in the Champions League. One year they crowned in the semis and a quarter final. But I should say who every single club will go through this phase. But the most important aspect. Kwan abefa so abesa pagya omudi ayedai ediaba fancy hwesa nyomo wo makomu nyina achi ana Xavi DJ team no okoe omoko fa Hansi Flick by none of us here and esusu huniye se Barcelona ebetimi adu this level.
Yes,
fighting for 3 trophies. Oma di project nanim kan kora Barcelona far ahead. Almost double almost steps with the project they are doing, because now no almost by Jinam Pempe so be at the standard they set for themselves and they can't look back again. Davi. And at first no could be about Basa where they are for the last 4 to 5 years. So where they are for Basa the SMS in Honma F. But now they've gained the respect to a certain extent to say this year no kwano my 8 comebacks. Within games, Champions League, the air do say because who Bayern Munich, dear Omuyetia Omo, who Inter Milan, Crampo who Benfica, Inter Milan they see 2 times. Menyasho said this season, Interbo Roma, Interbo AC,
Intermo game at
Intermo game at say it. Team ane brebi etwem 4 years ago ane etete omo ane amount for sro omo de omo sa chechero omo so they've gained the respect of Europe. And Enra and the stamp is you say pine. This is the beginning of the comeback of Barcelona, just like Inigo Martinez Ekaino. This is the beginning of Barcelona's comeback. Meaning Inigo Martinez ya dream. This is the beginning. Abrabo bona do baby a your point be on ma udru a e wo se bibi timi bow
balance na ba
a bow na wo yem show na ode ye futu enye se ode to fom na unsan sori bi mo ode ye futu
Wontumi
ana you stage bi so a udru a emu e ya de ma ode ba a stage a it prepares you for what lies ahead, for the next thing I'll be facing in life. Inti ubetimi akọ inti the national service aye ni nyina no obefili se bia useless, but Abai wants to prepare you for the outside world because ebia oni baby abakonya adwuma abakoye iti eroko bale bomboy a maybe the next contract you get na bale bomboy maybe a baby bupe, but because what na bale bomboy timi esu abrabo na ye ne eho ya na ofa mu ni nyina you wouldn't repeat the same mistakes, you do better. Iti Champions League competition the stage bia bibi be miawo ebe few ebe kawa ma ya obi atiesu so you cry a obi so team bia nyane de Man City de I think one semi-final be against Madrid. Bernabeu, you know.
And Chelsea some movie.
Chelsea so brave par before 2012.
Chelsea City in the final.
Chelsea City in the final. And Chelsea so brave. Chelsea so brave par before the 2012. No. It is a bit fell, a bit cow, but it makes you matured. We a young team. Fancy. They will find the Omofa when it was something a bit boost your morale. It will take you to a different level. Now, going to set games, your mentality will change, and you might be out here in the sun rain, and you might be brave, and your market to have been in Tamland DBTO. Okay? And your mammy, you see what game with them chaos and control. Chaos and control. The control only happened in the first half and the second half. Inter control first half. Barca control second half. Chaos the whole of the extra time.
Okay.
Shadrach Bema me first half now. Yen shadi bi kaka na me dey see quick. Na omaba so then we come to the Arsenal PSG game.
You be we enra game na
Sunday. Then we come to the PSG.
Paris Saint-Germain Arsenal.
Inter Milan ebo ofie. Now they wanted to be aggressive in their press. Now you look on our screens. Barella any Mkhitaryan Hakan Çalhanoğlu ne omo midfield 3. But Shebebi a Barella a press ya kwa kudru. Kubasi, Inigo Martinez, Gerard Martin. So Barcelona is building up to say the PSG, yeah. Liverpool near Arsenal.
Yeah.
It only the money na kwa kugu left. Then no major Garcia as the free man. Then so Mubone Bedi Garcia then Yamal will be isolated with Dimarco 1v1. And also the name Kawasi so be no adwuma F4.
Yeah, okay.
But in this instance, so Mukobiana Boni Kodi Garcia Honoma, Mkhitaryan no be cover. Then there is Bastoni who also steps up. It is a 3v2 winning Mkhitaryan, Bastoni, Dimarco against Garcia and Yamal. It will move to me for Bonemba. It will be Kaya. I think the first goal, one of the balls, Dimarco pressé Garcia. Eje Bono, if you want man, Ole. I think that was the first goal. Or pressé Garcia now, Nya now, or the man.
Not born a ban.
Not born a back Garcia ho.
Marco.
Ana di Marco no step up. Ana di two pass in the coin. Exhibit number 2. Apart from the high pressing, Inter Milan were very intelligent in their shape. Now this is their shape when they are not on the ball. Now Ahano Barcelona mistake omu here in the first half in here say Dani Olmo, Ferran Torres, Rafinha, no me more centralized. But Uja Garcia and Yamal against Mkhitaryan, Bastoni, Dimarco 3v say 2. It ya have say no Garcia no runs no. On say Kunde makes intelligent runs. Garcia on naturally a right back. Kunde master the right back so he knows how to move the spaces to occupy. Say the bit me free Yamal. But I don't know Garcia ya no. They be a Garcia ya elevate Yamal to 2 players.
Still not firm.
But we on say obebu first one, obebu second one, no about to third one no Hobaston. Exhibit number 3. Inter Milan shape of the ball. But I'll tell you how Barcelona changed the second half and got control. Exhibit number 3. The same thing is happening here. Share how many players? Mkhitaryan, Bastoni, Dimarco 3v2. Unless Yamal no kwa can't no be search na boso. Pebebi a omujina. Na her Rafinha na her Torres centralized. Difficult. Exhibit number 4. It is Emma Barcelona for na as a nipa no beso bobo on the far solo. Omu nyane ye with the spaces no betimi exploit it because they are overloaded and they are overcrowded. And omu decided said then say right name far yen fan ko left no mo de beba so the same thing omu ye omu Mkhitaryan, Çalhanoğlu, Rafinha, but Dimarco consistently share the gap between Dimarco and Yamal. Or man chance of cry. Share one or right to left has you, but space no Yamal. Space near keep away. But Radia Hansi Flick yeah. So in the second half, exhibit number 1, Shadrach, a ho and abehu whatever Hansi Flick did. Okay. Shadia, also make Casana than your own Ferran Torres, no me centralized though. The first step he did was Garcia Bono, or man in Karim Franco actually be brave. Because the core move be decision making and any movement hard. It remember than the Omo Abeka on creating 3v3. You created 3v3, I am one Bastoni near other boys in Inana. Now who didn't know so. And I am fight Omo and drag it Bastoni and I say DiMarco out of position. So on the screen, this is the second half. Omo way. Waba more of the left just to overload. No what 3 center backs and Doma Ede and Doma P. And it is the first half now, they were more centralized. Number 2, what he did was, or the Frankie de Jong, a center back. It will may exhibit 2 now. Frankie de Jong, the Gene Chiro Kubasi. Inigo Martinez in the body. It automatically almost about 3 back. So almost 3 back near de Jong.
Or push him more forward.
Because of a sort of can. And I cannot person he needs to create overloads. Oh baby, oh did 2 years say interland weakness, which is the left hand part, the Marco side. Danfrey side on a wedding. Because Bisek o pace. The wedding. Danfrey Susu o pace. The wedding. It's a hammer and on between the bonafa. Create something through Lamine Yamal. It will be Kubasi, De Jong, Martinez as a 3 back. It's a 3v2 against Marcus Thuram and Lautaro Martinez. But behind them, Tokro Kasiebi Dao, Eho, and the magician, no, yeah, Juma, why, Pedri. It's Barcelona in this instance will go with a 3-2-3-2 build up, but any static. On the left hand side, or Garcia, or Omo, maybe Omo actually Barcelona in the Fraba. The only thing Barcelona wanted to do was to isolate DiMarco and Yamal in 1v1 most of the time. First half they failed, second half they changed in structure and the doubling up and overcrowding the place. You know, boy, by chaos. Nature say you call extra time. No, it's about transitions. I want to get that is a same. Create anything out of anything. Ebi, I'm in Tamland here getting to the end of the game. Nankasa Omudinya equalizer no. Omu this is in your teams baby Omayebi. Van Dijk in Liverpool, Maguire in United. Yeah. Even Real Madrid does the same thing with Antonio Rudiger. Now the Nakujina 9. You bobo never we say yes because you believe as a centre back no area presence. You can deal with a lot of things. But fancy, this game, first half, second half of statics, the extra time was chaos. And whoever does well, I'll bet him driving well on the chaos will get away. But I'm telling Barcelona fans, Mama, I'm saying it again. This is the beginning of the comeback of Barcelona.
Whoa, may I say, Mike.
Fancy, thank you very much. We witnessed 2 classic games, our Champions League match. I woke over here a list of the Akoso in history in previous games in the way out. In terms of goals, we're in a match to Bayern 2008-2009. Bayern 12-1 aggregate win over Sporting CP. Shomo 7-1-5-0. Then the Liverpool-Roma semi-final clash. And it's a Liverpool winning first leg in a 5-2. Then Roma ebe winning 4-2 in the return encounter ever the Olympico. But none of these 2 games have generated 13 goals. Matches up to this one in terms of a contest that is finely balanced. Am I at the best of both worlds? The other possession needed Juma and at the all season momentum. None of the games are bubble, so no matches that. We've seen great Champions League comebacks as well. A movie also know where my feeling no to say the way my the 2 legs gave us mesmeric feelings. We are neutral Albania out there. If you're a Barca fan, you will get yours. Inter Milan fan, Ubenya, even for Asu, against supporters union, they had a lot of moments to celebrate concerning the 2 legs that we saw. And I think that these 2 teams have sold 2 epic games. This tie will forever be etched in the history of the UEFA Champions League. I understand Inter did not play as they were supposed to. Yeah. Club will be an team. Competition be you have one big performance to give if you win it. Inter for the name my.
I say form and I say modern will be or sanky you say Inter bomb. I because obey me agent.
Exactly maybe. My. Almost records, almost stats, and yeah, deca. Oh, almost defense, way. But in terms of game, Mankasa, about 90 minutes or more, they have not played their best brand of football yet. but they were difficult to beat against a Barcelona team that is in fantastic form, a lethal attack. Nti Barca team ne de omo ye no bibia ni where ye wan wom anameboa. Barca shot 3 goals in the first leg or shot 3 goals in the second leg. Yeah, the omo ye. They could even have done more, but for the brilliance of goalkeeper away Jan Sommer, and then some defensive interventions from players like Bastoni, even Acerbi, and to some extent other Stefan de Vrij back home. Inter did not play their best brand of football, but Barca struggled to eliminate them, and unfortunately Barca couldn't even eliminate them. And my be about the Inter team, no. Eba to bear Nemomoya Stronko. I think this is a special side. Forget about fanciful football. Football played with flamboyance, total dominance, possession. There is something special about this Inter team. Now again, roles play a crucial role in the game. The Inter one omoye eno. Omuni Pedri. They have Barella. Omuni Inigo Martinez. They have Acerbi. The omowa no mo de ma eno. So if you sit down and blame them, I no born omuni mo. Omobo omuni mo no mo boy. They don't have any other brand of football. And in this stage, the team with the best strategy, and I'll call him. And their strategy was to use their wing backs to play make or to become scorers. Especially coming into this game where the fitness of our top 2 strikers, they are questionable. Marcus Thuram, a race against time to be fit for the first leg, on a share in the opening minute, but assist Nifre, Denzel Dumfries. Meboa. In the 2 legs, Inter wing backs gave us 2 sides. DiMarco had a torrid time against Lamine Yamal. Into a boka cra near the Carlos Augusto Beshoni na kodane tiam penifoni mienu. Then on the right, Inter had the best of their wing back play in Denzel Dumfries. And that is why in everything that played out, I crown him the player of the tie. Not player of the second leg, the player of the tie. Also, 2 goals, how many assists? 3.
3, yeah, 5 goals.
Why emulate the Pierre Monehwan? Yeah. This was a moment that really gave this one out as an effective technical player. It had consequences, but also it had benefits. Coach Ninim. So Jai Dumfries moye the oye na. A home fast war, be hun sunsans also. I've sent some pictures to Shadrach. On your mom and illustrate. Yes, first leg because you first leg. But again, anytime Inter were attacking, Dumfries was adding up to the Inter attackers to make them 3 up front. So he was the farthest defender, bar the moment Acerbi scored in almost every Inter Milan attack.
Yes.
This is the first goal. 20 minutes into the game. Why never pass nama
DiMarco?
Exactly. Their wing back play. Play making scenarios. Baby DiMarco Ginano. A typical midfielder be say Mkhitaryan, Çalhanoğlu, Barella and also Ginao. But again, it tells you about the Inter. What do they have? Their wing backs are their most effective weapons. DiMarco Bema pass in the amount Denzel Dumfries. O check 2 strikers, no me now offside. And none of them can make a run as spacey or with speed to say their Dumfries bear. So when they are Wontumi make a run, cut into, slice into the Barca defense. And this is what led to the assist to Cretima Lautaro Martinez. Ojaoko say ya, so we 3 picture ni 3 wa. Why not that one? As original Oshe. Rafinha. Yes. He has a lot of space to run into. Rafinha essential pace and space combined are deadly for Inter. But damn the consequences. I'm far, but a far. DNBC go beba. I'm the second picture. Again, this is the penalty incident involving Paul Kubasi. Remember dream Bona Lautaro Martinez nyaya or the coin. Say DiMarco and not Dumfries and Kubasi on to they have the speed to burn. Lautaro needs speed.
But Lautaro, and can say 2 days ago, soon because
he physically he wasn't fit. But even a fully fit Lautaro, only speed in Chen Kubasi. Again, check those in the box. The Biama circle, no. Why in the Woho Tuntum, no? Denzel Dumfries, adding up to the top 2 attackers of Inter again. And to pass, no, so Lautaro Nkuwambo shot to cry. He could have held on. Inter have the numerical advantage over Barca. The free man here, Denzel Dumfries. He would have played a part in the goal scoring situation. The third picture. Third picture now. Again, this is Barcelona's goal. Mekacho said there were benefits and there were the consequences. Dumfries again, now Inter the kita ball no. And Barca winning ball no. Now, if you check, Inter were transitioning to attack into no asset of Oko. When Barca won possession, that was said Danny, but he was out of position. Until Elivi Inter back trainer exposed. So what she left a wing back when the Carlos Augusto Naba. He was missing in action. Then right wing. A man said Dumfries or Conti, he was also missing. Yeah, the pass Neymar Rafinha, he has an easy decision to make. Our space. But this time he wouldn't need the space. He just needs to find precision and then power. And Neymar Rafinha this year go no. The recovery of Inter was not able to catch up. Then if there is any other picture on Fancao, this is Inter's equalizer, Francesco Acerbi. And to check. Once again you will see Mediterranean. Then you will see Marcos Thuram. But Dumfries na advance kasi asana Acerbi aba. So the only time a defender usurped the line forward Etra Dumfries was this moment, and it was because they needed it. Again, risk it strategy. Momentum. Football is moment. Yeah. Football no, you need to make 90 minutes neutral at bimbo. Even time Anabasa under Pep, the finals of the tiki taka we've seen, teams were creating moments against them. But now Inter seized their moment and they had a strategy to effect that. Wontumi Barca for them body toe to toe. And they seized that moment. But here, some bad defending on the part of Gerard Martin. Defender ball say ba boom. And trying so yes, I may be control them up. Oh, they are torn bibia. Make sure say it counts. Put your body on the line. But again, the sheer determination of Dumfries to attack it. Because you acquire or catch, or something in mind. Sheared well. We need to do something. It was a foul on Martino. You can have your own arguments for it. Okay. Obviously, me argue that they be. These things, you leave it to the discretion of a referee. At the referee's discretion, or know what you see there. So Dumfries attacking again and then assisting. And that is why I think that I be fitting some crowning the player of the tie. He was that weapon Inter used and used effectively against Barcelona. Barca had weapons, but their main weapon was Yamal. But Inter's main weapon had to do with Denzel Dumfries, and he decided this tie. And the man acquired there again. You say, dear one, you show it, you give it. Man tried to do something different. Job it me Inter's quality depth. Yatna can once okay, this is Dumfries ne a year statistics. Game ni na 2 legs no na you expect so be 0.9 goals, which is marginally appreciating to 1 goal, my 2 goals. He overperformed every metric. XG expected goals ani enim so be no na a 0.13. But he gave more than that. Again, assist. Ni expect say one more assist our game way no. Kenya 1.34, but on my assist is saying 3. Expected assist 1.2. So clearly there was an overperformance of every metric from the Dumfries. But to the substantive point, Shara Kemaya changes our 2 teams in the game. Medebeka say me actually. This is Inter's changes. 55th minute out here Federico Di Marco. In Carlos Augusto. Then 71st minute, Obika 71th, but out here Yambisek, in here Matthew Damian. In the same minute, here were Lautaro Martinez out, Mediterranean in. 79th minute, Hakan Chahanoglu out, in, Pietro Zielinski. Then 79th minute, Henrik Mkhitaryan out, Davide Fratesi in. 108th minute, Denzel Dumfries Wabre out, Stefan de Vrij in. Inter wanted to defend. So, changes here away. It speaks something. Inter's quality depth. Omu team no. Omu na age average omu ni. True. And ye ne obi owo Inter team ni mu a onimbo ne gidi but omu bobo so. So Carlos Augusto no oba no. De Dimarco ye no betimi aye. De Dimarco ntimi nye no ntimi nye. Enti on chain Dimarco na Dimarco ne so on chain sa. Mathieu Damian, again, experience. The young Biseke, no, he can do it and do it because one of his technical brilliance and versatility. Mediterranean, Ben Lautaro Martinez, but in the contest, in the scheme of affairs, a half-fit Lautaro Martinez, our Breno, Mediterranean can come and give you similar output. Then you have Pietro Zielinski. Chahanoglu, midfield no bono. Zielinski plays similar. And why you want my evidence about Napoli when they won the Scudetto? Davide Fratesi, check him as Sassuolo. The Oyewo game nimuno. It is Nisuno no, but onya consistent minutes more into a better bench. Stefan de Vrij was a starting defender for this Inter team this season and Yomaye Bibi war. Their quality depth means that the coach ne pesa odi omo yeno. Omo so emo mutumi yese jumane de man pepepe. And Inter's quality depth defined the style. Nyomemuye adeno, omo age, average age in the 30, oma bre, they will need fresh legs to come and influence the game in their favor. And didn't they do it? When they say winning goal, no, Davide Fratesi, pass ni free wine, Mediterranean. They came, they contributed. And it's our check it subs way now. Rating of Taremi is 7.3. Rating of Fratesi is 7.3. Fratesi has shared 2 goals in the Champions League. 2 goals in and Ayabra was coming on as a substitute and he scored a late goal against Bayern Allianz Arena. Honey a bubble final no. And then in yesterday's game at the San Siro. Would the way to compare Barca changes now? Or the two why you will see. Barca changes no now man for raising concerns. No way never. Why? Barca starting lineup. Omo bench ne bebre gap. So what Inigo Martinez will do for you in a game? Odi Araujo bemua Barca fans no mutini muntini omo. Again, Hector Fort ebem na Obabeboa. You don't expect him to give you the output someone like Jules Koundé or even Eric Garcia and Edebemao. He's a bright young talent. I will take nothing away from him. But what matters most is the impact. Barca, what killed them? The non-availability of some of their first team players and then also their lack of quality depth. If Balde you're fit, Gerard Martin won't play. Jules Koundé you're fit. Then Eric Garcia will not even start there. So non-availability of key players. Then the lack of quality depth, especially in defense. Nti nigo epra o free mono. The oba be shame no or a misfit as per Hawa Hansi Flick episode born moment na angasa Araujo wasa. The Hansi Flick no he can't. Hansi Flick net as manager, he needs to vacate. Ne spot e wo team nim. So what helped Inter? Because Inter for the second leg recovered all non-available players. Obia no Obia fit. Barca were not able to do that. And then it defined the outcome of this game. A good result for Inter, but it is a tire. Obia and Kobe qualify or deserve it.
Okay.
Barca deserve to qualify. Same as Inter Milan also deserve to qualify. And that is why this tie one of the classics as regards the UEFA Champions League.
Whoa, Medase, Steve.
Fuzzy, Medase, and when you football went bonkers in terms of the scoreline and how the game unfolded. You see, ahead of the game, now you share reason here, some aspect of the game is very difficult for Barcelona. And the fact that Barcelona is side they concede when they travel and losing the key player at certain critical positions over the field in the idea, it was always going to affect them. But there was a game of two halves, and Sunny in the first league, and the Sana happened in the second league. So Argentina Inter Milan Betima started very well, but in the second half they seem like a team. They are struggling to find themselves. And it's you look at the Inter Milan side and you check their age. So they can give you explosive performance for the first 30 to 45 minutes. But in the second half, when Omo Ateki 2-goal lead, they can't continue with that explosiveness. It affected them. Hansi Flick tweaked something in the second half. That is, you're pushing more men up front. Near stop it Omo game in their own half. And that's you bet me any other chance to play. And Sana Barcelona a year in the second half. And then one was Eric Garcia from the right back position Ebenyago because no more overload. Yes. That was the only way. Because yes relax up a ball to start or build up now. The Inter Milan setup and Mount Hokaisa. So in the first half, Adia Yabo Basso, their midfield rules says, oh, Barcelona, you need to take siege of their midfield. But in the first half, the Barcelona midfield didn't work. That is why Dani Olmo and Pedri, they were not lively in the first half. Because Calhanoglu, Mkhitaryan, and the likes, they were dominating in terms of how they were pressing to get the ball and then set the Marco on the counter attack, and then resulting in the first goal. Dumfries very wide, yababo ball na tum, and now say yambo ball no ni use Thuram because he's bulky and he can take the ball down, allocate it either the left or right. That was the approach, and they did that to perfection in the first half. But in the second half, these are young guys. They have bucket loads of energy and they can run for 120 minutes plus. That is the Barcelona side. Whereas Inter Milan cannot match up. Experience in the account here, Makadada for weeks ago say, I see Barcelona winning the double more than a treble because they lack the experience. And the Omuyeni are premature. They have overachieved. And so said they should be winning double because of the brilliance of the manager. Okay. But Enra say Hansi Flick, any other experienced guys, this would not have been the game for Inter Milan because he is a brilliant manager. Now, Barca echo with Ferran Torres only did the lines, and then Dani Olmo playing just behind him. But also the tactical shape and setup of Barcelona, it was a brilliant start in terms of the men who utilize Olmo. Fancy, you can get the right team shape, but Omo ode omakoho Omo ye juma we expect so Omo be no and so two different things. So he wanted to build from the middle, utilizing the pace of Ferran Torres. No Wontumi Gambo and Robert Lewandowski because he's coming from injury. Now, at the end of Ferran Torres, at the moment in a game, Barcelona able, mobility and speed. Why would a coach decide to use such players in such games? Then the ages of Inter Milan's defensive shape come into question. Omu age, I saying Achebe, ni age you saying
37.
Bastoni is saying. So over Robert Lewandowski, you are serving the purpose of Inter because they can mark him. But with Ferran Torres, you have mobility. Very difficult for these two guys to chase him down. But the setup, they needed results in the first half because Dani Olmo and Pedri had control of the game to feed that gentleman. And the chance of Munya in the first half even fell to Dani Olmo, unfortunately, indecision. The stage a Barca team drew, alien to most of the boys. They've not been there. But this is a perfect platform. Usher the new generation of Barca's success. So the semi-final about the right time with players on age, 17, 18, 20, 21. That's the new Barca team of Moshe. Into the semi-final, I'll show more. I'm not with any fluke game, about with high tempo football. A game that, as Mike Ekano, it will be remembered for many years to come. It's a 13 goal scored in 2 games. And the players involved were all active in the game. Maka said, Simeone Inzaghi, no, on and they have experienced this stage. And we're keeping consistency. Maka from day one. And that is idea Eddie Omako. It got to some aspect of the game. No, be a here tactics. The obia here no I had the willpower, the sheer determination. So Obeko back to 2010 when Inter Milan were eliminating Barcelona. Na ye hwan Javier Zanetti, Cambiaso, Diego Milito,
Goran
Pandev, and Samuel Eto'o. You had these Argentines. And the Mekasa the attribute of these players are a sheer determination. There's still determination to move to the next stage, and they did well in the first leg. In the second leg, with a man down, they prevailed and almost called final. And no been a Inter team we issue here. They show characters of individuals. They can't afford to lose. So the Davide Fratesi came in. He did very well. Look at Lautaro Martinez. The movement on the field, so you'll be on your fit for the game.
Yeah,
but it's now or never, because unlike Maka Barca, the end said this game usher a new talent of Barcelona team into the UEFA Champions League. This same game, and so raised the curtain down for most of this Inter team. 37, 38, 28. Most of them might not have another taste at this stage of the UEFA Champions League. Into next season, Inter will struggle because they will need new players to come in and start a new process. So this is ushering them out, whereas at Barcelona, this is ushering them in. Intimika said, if Barcelona and Timia make it to the final, it shouldn't be a disappointment.
Yeah,
they have overachieved. And Mika said, a chance. They should have won the first leg to give them a chance in this game, because at home, the Italians, when they are pushed to the wall, they will react. They reacted perfectly. And the experience I counted at that stage. So extra time they go nearby, no. But now no more boning in eye. You try to be defended well. And you can't be at this stage of the UEFA Champions League with a weak goalkeeper. At some point, you need to rely, and you have to rely on your goalkeeper. So Alisson Becker Shre, Courtois are showcasing, Donnarumma Shre, Yansoma is showcasing the same thing. Edison Moraes. Chelsea Kofa Edouard Mendy.
Yeah.
He proved that the UEFA Champions League, every stage, and then the LDI was all they call. So, and by fluke, so much said they needed somebody with strong hands, and that is what he did. But Lamine Yamal, why a boy now, and everything about Barcelona should revolve around him and you see, the moment Barca man huge responsibility, a big problem for the young man. At some stages in the first half, he needed somebody to connect with. It was Lamine Yamal and your man, but when they boy ama they are all I yielded the positive result. Into the ball no
because
Kunde nim, but you need somebody else up front. In the first half, well, who Rafinha?
In the second half. No.
So, Ocheke, the best years of Leo Messi. Game ni muye there. Sometimes he is not the go-to man, but Ono will instigate everything for somebody to feed on it. Inti Lamine Yamal ya ni omani nyina. The sasa oye na no oye, but one eboa the auxiliaries no way. Obi enim Rafinha ma game in the first half. It was a cold night for him in the first half. And then in the second half, until he was more like off the game. But for 120 minutes, it was this boy. And I did a surprising minute for age 17 years. Your ball game maybe more form, still he had energy. Now he's going about his business. Oh, yeah, Barcelona fan, you don't have to be disappointed. Manager Ekitamono. He knows his job. And now Sikana Manya in the Champions League, Beboam in the transfer. Barcelona will come good. They will be even better than the Omuhuni this season. Repeatedly, I've said that.
Omania breakdown fresh so serious.
Yes, that.
No cry. Omo the first leg, nana.
Yeah.
A pushing and round so.
Yeah.
Obesa mo my reason here was a coach no.
Yeah.
A back can say, well, yeah, right. So also when you're down fresh. Omo nyana cry. the profile just a Dumfries or more pay Jeremy Frimpong. Then or my not Jeremy so they are. Then it means also more promote to be or similar profile from the La Masia.
Fancy my and the French, the Dutch land, you know, they produce quality players. In the 90s, they had that. Good little mobile bar, but now no, use country. Almost the Dutch players are performing. Oberbo Xavi Simons with is it Leipzig? Leipzig. They are all Cody Capo. Yeah. Look at how he's performing. Grafenbeck is doing well. Jeremy Frimpong.
Send no coach Simone Krabona Basso.
And for a defender, how many goals no he involved? 5 goals.
5 goals in 2 legs.
In 7.
Okay.
In 7 goals for Inter. 5 goals. You see, it doesn't come easy. They've done well. They deserved it. I was always going for Inter Milan. They have something. I do get over the line. And after this season, I want them to be crowned champions in the UEFA Champions League. And then you ensure the next phase of Inter under Simeone Inzaghi. His brother did well on the field. He's doing well with suit and tie at the dugout. And congratulations.
Yeah, we are the Arsenal. Then you have 20 minutes. And Shena Fee and Brian. Arsenal, come back and I say PSG ever soldier on. Meza, quick.
Yes, Fancy. My recognizing go for Bigakra. Wow, policeman or Central Police Station. Ahenkra.
Oh, Mr.
Ahenkra.
Pips
is a chief inspector.
Chief inspector.
And I'm chief inspector.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm in personal, and I'm saying, oh, Mr.
Ahenkra. It's chief inspector. Or my blood to war.
Analysis, no way na anko.
Oh, they
understand. Those times need national way be our bona. And some coming in and was from the dead. All the old team, no, what they are commanding the change.
I know I've seen Arsenal black jersey on the America say Kenya for national team.
And the Sana net here now, we offend, definitely we offend. And come on, to say we offend. It's a monfanche, you bet it and also kakra. But sometimes mumma a command to a kumemuna. Besides, nobody is perfect. Ubiawo, bibi bit at any time. Fancy, Nana Kwesi barbering shop, or maybe at tomorrow mutation ammonia and the boys in the mic ammonia and the guys. Yeah, sense you. Now, Fancy, interesting. Arsenal PSG game there, one particular gamer, the return leg, I'm mixed feelings. Mixed feelings and I'm different reasoning around this particular game when it comes to the return leg, especially Abra score line here 1-0 going into the return leg. Arsenal bre because Wontumi qualify for one Champions League final na unko lusu na de aka nyina tete so abobo so abobaba besi samre ko Wontumi nya bi brem.
Yeah, that's what I'm break right say.
The European final munya akonya ko real.
Also be at on Sunday share
and the European final muko real na the Europa League at Chelsea show with the Europa League.
But that boys win so moon soon final.
Omunya nsun. But you see, well, Anna most of the time Fancy it's about the whole club in this particular discussion. Inti na na mebobo di no say City esu. Meboa. Chelsea sun.
Yes,
ball 2008 and then the one ball 2012 no. What I say the club na so it makes you understand that football has a funny way of say obetria wo ka bre odoka. Hwe ma men kan fan chiro. Football we yet denya one day either so be the football can as a football ba be doka. Den so one day mu ba ku betua and as a football betua oka.
Numbers of phone soon referee no.
What I say? Then one day football betua oka. And now say you have to pay football. And in context with this particular discussion of Paris Saint-Germain, Fancy, Paris Saint-Germain about semi-final last season. Paris Saint-Germain could board the final of the Champions League. FC by Melek. Now this is a coach on him the oye because you can't treble now. Why they?
What you be?
Ama in 2014-2015 no the Barcelona did treble no. Osade mo dominated by the club World Cup player that didn't that so our experience. Or any paba football Saman second opportunity to revive himself. Bako Hansi Flick.
Yeah.
Because Okofom after Germany national team now football man the second opportunity and now why any the respect.
Yes.
Now Luis Enrique after Barcelona Juma na okofa Roma Mosa ko nam yekofa Spain national team ni sa akoye no. Now Paris Saint-Germain na sa man animunyam no because ke league ne nko dia ke nyina ye tia no say Paris Saint-Germain the French league and nobody cares. Because in terms of finances, in terms of quality players, maybe every single team with the French league so. But maybe obi aka 79 say project now more ye no and the UAE abeje Champions League no katebre. By a can nipa no mutimi is kadito player akese pa na e kata for more time 222 million euros. Ekoto La Liga office see player mo fane mai. And the France one mo bo mo asafo hene. But most real myself for na catch was mo mutia na mo local champions. Ye no kro mo ase the Champions League de ne age. There is a lot at stake in me but two things are giving me the mixed feelings because me I've already said time and time again say PSG remains the favorite in this tie. But there's a sense of reasoning here. Fancy, am I reasoning here? Could be, for example, number one, Arsenal and Real Madrid. The last time Arsenal and Real Madrid they played in the Champions League final. And Amaka said the last 4 seasons to 5 seasons, Obi away Madrid be Real Madrid in the Champions League and Obi be a final.
Yes.
Wontumi 101.
Number 2, this season, what check it away games Arsenal boy. Atlanta goalless. Inter Milan send 1-0. Okwawe ko share Sporting CP by 5-1.
Now Morima free all.
Yeah. Or say PSV and Hoven 7-1. Okobo draw back could be so away. It is check Arsenal in the Champions League this season now. They've only lost 1 away game. That was against Inter Milan. Eventually, Inter Milan will lose 1-0 Tiano. No Basa Krako Henra. On any trace so and Inter Milan has a room. The final of the Champions League. Or say Kwawe ko Santiago Bernabeu ko share Real Madrid by 2-1. Fancy stage fright and they always say to me Chelsea and then you play. Because Wontumi mbo San Siro. Anko bo Santiago Bernabeu. Anko Portugal anko bo Inter Sport away. Now atmosphere when you Atlanta Italy. Oba was stage fright at show. And the French Paris Saint-Germain home it will popo. And the third thing is Paris Saint-Germain bottling no in the Champions League is true team ba kwa bottle lead kese pa Paris Saint-Germain can win. One day no so any resource a convincing resource despite say PSG born no man bono a solid and they look the favorites for tonight. Okay. Fancy, this is a game I'll pick it at 50-50. Arsenal will score a goal, PSG will score. But me the best one no.
Obi Eshegorian said PSG never do so.
because fancy once a Champions League about Fibiana or one particular game.
So Obi say 1 goal ne there it means a 2-1 aggregate.
What I say a 2-1 aggregate. And more or less, no, Arsenal could literally win the game maybe a 2-1, not the extra time. The Paris Saint-Germain will qualify.
So Arsenal bet me na.
No extra time. And I a penalty shootout. Now Arsenal will qualify. But I mean, I stand in between me kind of natural fancy. This game and the reasoning behind it. PSG will always remain a favorite in the face, but I'll still stand at 50-50 between the two sides. Arsenal will go all out. The difference in the heard Thomas Partey, what he brings to the table. But Luis Enrique, experience as he is, quality players that they have. Let's see what PSG also has in store for us tonight.
Okay, Mike.
Fancy, me share Nioma Mienumi and Sabi. The first leg, PSG had much of the ball possession, like 52%, right? Then Arsenal had fewer, but Arsenal created more big chances than PSG, 3, as against PSG's 2. PSG keeper Gigi Donnarumma had more saves in that game than David Raya did, 5 against 3. At the end of everything, Arsenal XG net was rosing PSG there. 1.63, PSG's XG of 1.07. I stand to be corrected. But the team that scored was Paris Saint-Germain and not Arsenal. Ghana maker. Arsenal are entering this game with a deficit 1-0. They will need to stay in this game or stay in this tie. So much as I Obia is a Arsenal shall go, or Arsenal shall go. I want to think the reverse. I will say Arsenal a preventive concession of a goal if they are able to avoid conceding in the first 70 minutes of this game. A crucial moment.
First
70 minutes.
Whoa.
Yep. This Arsenal team is not clinical. Prolific. Madrid here no defensive issues. And the manner in which Arsenal scored them 3 in the first leg, through 2 special moments from the free kick, Declan Rice. Then PSV Eindhoven there, Akomiakan 7 no. It was against another Peter Bosch, a manager who plays ultra offensive or more defensive game. So this Arsenal team don't have much or plenty goals in them. They are Arsenal who are the pano. How they can be solid defensively. So to me, Arsenal's best chance of staying in this tie and even having a glimpse at qualifying to avoid conceding. And if they're able to do this in the first 70, then they will stand a chance. Now let me create a scenario. A one-sided dear Batimas. The scenario here is it's a game net travel. Equal 70 minutes. Arsenal and share, PSG and share. It makes PSG more anxious. Arsenal have nothing to lose. PSG both, they are a very good offensive side. Now, on the Arsenal are Bono and Shea, they start to have questions running through their minds, creating a state of anxiety.
Ooh.
And Arsenal can profit from that.
Okay, there's a last 20 minutes.
Yep.
So, what to me, who do the last 20 minutes? PSG,
be to me see. At the anxiety raw Mukampu, they will start to panic. They'll start to wonder, and I didn't want because I know they are going to dominate possession to an extent. Or make creative chances, but if they fail to score, it makes them have issues. The second one, the fitness of Dembele. He withdrew from the first leg. Meboa, we can cry the one Mobi. How ready is he? The Dembele Yema PSG attack, no, I dare say none of the attackers can replicate it. Otimia Koraskele Juma, Otimia Due or Bakole Juma, but he does more as Dembele this season than the 3 Namabodino. His ability to move around, how he draws into the middle, creates confusion among the defensive line, disrupt it. His build-up play, involvement in it, and his goal creation, but ultimately, goal scoring as well. Go Shana Dembele Dema PSG, none of the attackers have been able to match it. So his presence or absence could be detrimental or it could favor Paris Saint-Germain. It will give me a bebonum. A fully fit Dembele will give you all. But in Dembele ne how problematic ne muscle related injuries netie groin, hamstring, opra koba, the bones are trained. Then he has to withdraw again. So the fitness of Dembele will be crucial in this game. Another one, the return of Partey. And I said this on Sporty. Yeah, sure, and Danopa. Make I say, Partey returning will make Arsenal's midfield better. But as to say, it will make the difference Arsenal needs. Partey, if you check how Arsenal lost most of the second balls in the first leg, it gave PSG more possession than it did for Arsenal. Partey returning will bring that balance and calm to Arsenal's midfield. Then Eboa liberated the likes of Rice and Odegaard. Momukoyo Omejuma. I'm for blame Odegaard so dig with first leg in the pan. It is true. Maybe Partey's inclusion would have helped. Partey has some kind of understanding between Ono Odegaard and understanding between Ono Rice. He makes them better. So Partey will improve Arsenal's midfield play for duels, control of the ball, and even for distribution. But as to say, Enobe the difference maker in this game, question that one, and that is because PSG equally have an intelligent midfield and one of the best in Europe. So Partey will raise Arsenal's midfield or more ratings, and it will make them compete fairly with Paris Saint-Germain and make the best midfield win. The last one, Namidi I can't set pieces. Or checky weekend Arsenal game on bar against Bournemouth. They consider 2 goals from set pieces.
So yet,
but it is turning to become their weakness, and they will need to have a look at that. Set pieces, their Arsenal almost strength, It is now becoming Superman. Any weakness, Cranium or what? Something. Kryptonite. They say cranium. So Arsenal will need to watch it. Set pieces. Nti mabonyo ma saying. And 9 PSG ho. Any de mehu Arsenal ho no. Si akasa obi dig deeper. PSG can dig deeper to find something to qualify. I don't see that in Arsenal. So unfortunately for them, their final on no boy against Madrid, but there will be no trophy.
Okay. Whoa, Steve. Odegaard is also paying a modern bomone.
Oh, Partey beboa.
Maybe the inclusion of Partey and more Odegaard as a limelight view.
Fancy has said, with the city of glamour be the road to glory for Arsenal in this evening's encounter. And 19 years ago, it was the same city, and Arsenal and the hat-trick, losing to FC Barcelona. Now they travel to Paris from the backdrop of defeating a resident European powerhouse in Real Madrid. Whoever does that in the European football contest, Chelsea, they have come of age. And over here, Arsenal, they've seen progress under Mikel Arteta, and they are regarded as the heir to the throne of Manchester City in terms of the Premier League. But no Kasem, they say Liverpool did what they ought to have done to win the league, and Omaye. But Mikel Arteta, me the Arsenal co-final, Kojia, Ebe Bibia no bit my paper. But can they do that? And then you see, near Arsenal, it needs commendation. On my idea this season. In the first league, they spoke of Partey's absence. But Makanda, he's not that player. They regard him as such. The bracket also on the Partey Tumuno and Yahon on the two.
Nice cracker.
Yes. Omuhuni say he's just one of them. But Arsenal this season enya a real goal threat up front. Into your teams here final, you can make mention of Obia and the goals in Warsaw, Rafinha 13 goals. You talk of Dembele 8 goals. So Obia was that key player or yes at the moment. But Arsenal team now is a yembo. Anybody can score at any point in time. Yemfasa NG the UEFA Champions League. You see, only 2 clubs and the history of losing the first league at home. No Masako over 10 and then they progress and 10C. That is UEFA Champions League, And Arsenal will attempt to do that our Paris. Fancy more beyond that. The PSG for Sebi and Yadia Dafo. The midfield they are not celebrities. They are not the names you'll be mentioning to say about Declan Rice, no be a Pateno. They are efficient machines, and they are doing their job to perfection. They are just focused on Ejumomuye, Vitinha, João Neves, and Fabian Ruiz. These are the trial on Mbebwa. And then Scalia would have to do double of near season because of the injury to Dembele, meaning how fit I'll be for this game. Now, I'll go back to the first league. At some moments, Arsenal had good spells, but it was a game. If efficiency in American midfield and Biba attack, I should have ended 3-0 for PSG. Oshe Goncalo Ramos, he had a wonderful opportunity. Desire the way they came close, but Wontumi. You see, Arsenal was say almost testing beyond the Omahu this season. It has been a season of my idea in the UEFA Champions League, but Yankano Kreno, me that would be my prediction. I don't see Arsenal making it to the final. I see Paris Saint-Germain qualify. Emma easy. Arsenal will give them a good game, but so to me, a chance at in this game, they would have to start on the right note. Normally, yes, you could pass a game not to wind that time. They will have to press them, force them to make mistakes. But so many teams in the first 20 minutes, they will have to wave goodbye to the UEFA
Champions.
First
20 minutes.
So many teams pressing PSG to make mistakes in their own half. They will have to wave goodbye to the UEFA Champions League and come again next season.
We saw separate.
Oh, and I saw Oscar. Okay. Man ko say attire or behind bars na mo bi Oscar there. Okay. Very important.
Well, and our guy is all car say couple be me 500 say inter qualifier. Obi so the bar say 1,000. Onjo mo nyina obi ayi nene. Yenti obi anka tinya hwe.
Wana mo share mo bo. Obi am press obi a o. Wana press ho na de ba. Nti twi timi ente wonka why. Bodi oju hu di ana wa bodi. Eno ano na sa pepepe. Woti yenkwe na yeni ko kaka e wo local no na ye said no Mexico ye be start o Egypt ho and under 20 wo mo AFCON no koso na the Black Satellite yegum a ye bo adwuma ye pa na me adoma china Thursday next game no ye ne Central African Republic and e be boy first game against DR Congo ye bo 1-1 and afi in second game ye win against Senegal 1-0 na me adoma in third game e wo group no e be koso Thursday o china coach Desmond Ofen and the boys no training no koso enra enyumre ne omesa training na afi ochina game no abaso e di ama de under 20 ye hwe nim say kiane ken ye be jana 20 AFCON na afi ye remu e wo under 20 World Cup no e kakra eba ye be rem na afi ato so de afri on menra the GFA president Jera Keto Kreku remu e wo the Black Queens so maso ye omo e wo pram a wo mo e campaign ho ni nyina no e ye mo homboabo a wo mo ye say women's AFCON no so no mo e betimi akona afi o makwachi o mbo bre ho nti omo e campaign Kemelas a coach the the Black Queen so mo bo adwuma e pa ho a ono so enra wo kokan sem kakra e chiro mo the Black Princesses enso pram ho mo so prepare into a few ho no Black Queens no na ni chair the Princesses aneja ono so eno mo kodi nkoma kakra e de front way e nsem kakra e free the FA president aso ye e de banyame adoma June next month ye bo 4 Nations tournament na Ghana, Nigeria, Jamaica na enyasem geto akra na ye hwe ni mu say game no nuama betima ko ntienche coach Otuado e de ne call up beba na ye hwe se call up no local based players bi ebe ni opportunity o man and cry yeti any news say ba ne chese coach Otuado e betima to ne nsa boys ya o mo ye league mu bi na o makosi akan abra ye bo 4 Nations tournament no na Ebenezer Aban a wono Heart of Lions no ya tene din say coach betima man call up e de free Heart of Lions akọ nyame adoma England ya ye ko bi Karmadin Mahmudu awo mediama wono so ebetimanya call up and afi Steven Amankona enso brekum Chelsea ni din enso apiem kwampoku enso ye te se coach ebetima frɛ na afi we intim manu Andrews wono so a player yet is a coach ebetimi afreno na afi ye goalkeeper goalie no Benjamin Asare one of the team no account that into ono so ebetimi any opportunity na afi wo remti wo hwe ye players ya na say be 6 players there ombetimi afri Ghana ha na afi mo adwani team no kakre front ye train coach Otuado official squad ono e de baba na afi din komo e de frano pano me catch us still has we komo hunt for a coach mo say coach Abubakar Watara no wo mo ebe coach for Framana be di kan e de ba ye be kan ha kire e coach Maso Konadu ye ka kire so no betimi abeje adwuma na your house vokomo ene de din common early stages and common na nim ye pa na do mo e kan se coach Abubakar Watara no wo mo mfa no enye se o mo pam no o mo sake no kra manako na mom se coach Maso Konadu ba o ma drop coach Abubakar Watara mana technical director of the club and still no be part of the team na eni ya hwe se de nuama be si akontiza and be coach Abubakar Watara be technical director and the coach Maso Konadu no news a free house o maso ye de eba na no pay na ye te se oboase demonstration mi course demo chinchirenchi ni nyina ne se oboase as good wo mo say so bo test no na kire se o mo nsase bi o ho a wo mo DC club house no ade se asase ya ton e de amankofo bi o mo ye project e so na ene anope ana as good supporters no mo say there bi da wo mo kwaju o masase ase nti omo ekoi demonstration omo so omo the message ma honorable Kwaku Kwatin MP ho no omo say omo zuzu project na ekoso no onim ho bi nti omo anopei omo koya demonstration chechirenche ana omo koye ho na demonstration omo koye ye ne gidie anamon wono enso supporters no kasamafo edema ashgood na gidie anamon anopei ana one kakra to the dienti omo ye demonstration no gidie anamon achirechire mu dienti a wo ma bre amani abrabo kojan ene anopei wo boase
1996 yɛmpanyimfoɔ including AGA ɛkabomke asase bi a ɔmo mpanyimfoɔ nyansɛm no yɛde bɛsi club house no ne dwumadie bebree na ɔmode talent no aboa tim no yɛgye mpanyimfoɔ de saa asase no 11th October 1996 on records no the time the toy na ye 40 million that time 40 million asasina da ho ma enna kakra ni as goat e ko anwenye ma akirigantem tu yen no empanyimfo bi ewo obuasi krom ha epese omo efa asasina se omo ewi asase no na asase no so that time ye to free dubi ase yin ho ni o dubi ase yin ani to free no enti no ye hu se amanfo abasase no so a omo sati a omo ye hu adwuma na ye ko hwehwe ma na ze ko rewre mu no na asam no ese omo mto asase no ye obuasi MP Kwaku Kwatin wono ene obuasi MC the former MC Elijah Dansebona ana one businessman bi okrom e frɛ no ya ofusu
ene nchemu kakra wode emaye na ochiremu ana odi tu dwasa asem no kra no e court enti omunim die enti a as a still na no project e koso enti omani abre e kwale se mpanimfo mreme no omumro no masase no omonsa enka o confirm we so de mai
20 next month 23rd of next month a dia court letter no and a court paper no e was no kadi na mabobo no obuasi MP obuasi West MP Kwaku Kwatin former deputy minister for finance Kwaku Kwatin onuni team and a former MC ono sunidi was so and one businessman bi okromo e friend ya ofusu ono sunidi was so for dia
if you my dear we demonstration chichirinchi no ekoso obo ase ne won semede abenra and e catch us Techiman 11 wonders and Techiman heroes omo game omo boy no ye tese siketua bi ekomu ema 20,000 bi ne 10,000 bi am ye kan wa semede che say 11 wonders for no susu say omo tue sika de my referee no 10,000 oje ye no so wi a na waje ne next 10,000 to opai game no 1-1 no and e ba say odi sika na eba see this story ne ba ye no Techiman 11 wonders wo mu see o 7 eche case no die see ye ene die ekoso nyina no de kakra atudwa
Meti stories me calls and omo frame no I was a bit surprised sa commentary ne echo around because this is a game bo ma qualifier we points we media me fanya she game we ma win and affect me playoff me draw and affect me to me playoff the dia no no we see e be affect playoff na me prepare me ko bo and the dia ben na better ga me say me den me meko se me kwa kotua sika ade ma referee on na me win game no na game no so no your ball game no we your ball draw no and deny me say me nkobo play off and as a man qualify the die ben na be call for say me den me assuming without admitting crumble say me my referee sika for whatever reason kra die ben na be trigger say me kwa akoka say me kwa akwaji me sika because I was saying coming winning na me dey qualify I was saying win what will actually trigger that excuse me I didn't see any signs in it.
I do omo dey distract you because once omo kobo omo playoff inti opponent ni ye BBC na omo dey distract you but still omo dey omo playoff na hebas no eno anu omadwen e wo so
I ask myself and I'm kind no ya qualify we have played teams are competing with them they are not able to qualify some are going on relegation and you should expect some of these things say these are some of the things to distract will focus, our attention, I would ever prepare for your friends and play off. We have gone through more than this, your friends saying, league, a whole lot of unnecessary and forgery stories just to distract your attention. But hey, we are more than focused. You prepare for playoff than some of this.
CEO editor Attachment Heroes PRO Gideon Bequen. Gideon said match no koso no omu se BBC pitch no so na during the game no enu am koso no omu se bibi esie no so chire mu de ohu ye game na bra na koso no yenti kakra ono so de tudwa.
Now the owner of the Tuma Level Wonders, I will not preoccupy Edema, a Bubaso, and any entourage. I send a free stance a program through the tunnel, a year pack pitch in a perimeter. I go consult on the technical team. So do that. Who say the Tuma Level Wonders, and so Attica, almost I'm going to now back to the stance. And Jetiara, and there was a referee seminar. I issue red card. I a player. A partner incident Viaba and a fragment Viaba. Ne could take my heroes. Nipa, and one who created that fragment, which is red card straight at the Aman. The same one was a piano. September no wiki wo even supporters of practicing nano na yo mo nwa ye ga se odonko yes sitting in kiti say 3 points yes Sabeka no yes Sabeka at the end of the match na akwakwe 1-1 draw.
Attachment Heroes and somebody to Jana Bequen Chimo ye game no na amanfo bi abochenko a omo twen sika se bi ni ade say ye Jessica after the game no die see no eno so Chimo e che ade poten a ekoso abrana supporters e call for money
50 or 60 Akwakogu the changing room of match officials no omo entrance. So I asked other than also and I asked because it is the home team responsibility security wise to make sure say before, during and after security of match officials even supporters at Nabaro Nema Ebeku Akwem Kopi to Biabena Itedi Maiden Akofia Sunjem Silo Fifi match. So me Pisano Okacha say the bankroller of the Tuma Level Wonders Etimrika Ababe Wula dressing room was a match officials no and no Juma and Omojo Etiadia one for Nisikanya and some from the country for to Sirabuan and 1 year son. That's how
we say when tia na say wonsem kakra eno no nyame adoma weekend MTN FA Cup no ye be big games pa ewo ye kan say FA Cup no na road to the semi final no say and isitie both ye kan say Krobia Asante Rokoni Brekum Chelsea Kotoko 4 matches anomo e boy omo concede 7 omo ehye 7 e concede 1 anomo equipe 3 clean sheet 90-minute win no 4 matches ni nyina no mo 5 omo win a game on penalty say no Kotoko start no Brekum Chelsea there 4 matches and afi omo concede omo chef 12 e concede 2 omo keep clean sheet 2 and a 90-minute wins no 3 no omo win a game on penalties intiza and ICT way weekend here hwe ni say nuama ebitima akoyo MTN FA Cup fans the fancy na beda for embrem na omo nto asomfrio.
Okay, medase couple yemra so na yenhwem Steve
Fancy me that say that the person me shall see free the issue of 11 Wonders and Attachment Heroes. You see, there's a cancer in our league that we need to fight as a people. Yenina call it for people to patronize the Ghana league, the Ghana football. But these are the issues that abedi in Yapa in recent years. And me feel say measures from the FA no nya there actually nipa bibra so ye. Because there are restaurants in Ghana, Okona chef slippers no, regardless of security.
So who this care about?
Yes,
still no.
So product belongs to the Football Association. So the fact that Obi Abe affiliated with the FA, no yet Nyoma identify the image of FA and in the product. No, I feel say I was a FA no man any bre no trinkro for us. Because menya sure say racket. And as the general secretary, and the bakers will be go to his camera refugee. Menya sure say racket absolute control over refugee and a club administrator bia. But ni product no wambra. Until just as Obi Mount for slippers run a restaurant. I also try na search people. You almost sure massacre free your system nim. Because the brand Ghana football I suffer. And then we are in a sorry state. Team a crucial game Kotoko and has. Now say come here and say be a frigate crew biama. Why? Because obi anyone say be na dwunumu ewo how. So what to say? Game ya monko shey predetermined scoreline in here. No a drive ya from the family. So Baba Shibi. It happen. But it's the same Ghana football. I will be our sports industry, I falling in love with that has been the first love of many. And then Koba say yeah, league, you intimi projecting it to that level because the key actors in the league, omwane say say Nkoma would in nature say so emphatic. So call half times any yeah beji sika utie sika say or call buy an referee man record. Look at this. Look at this. What's your good team no crap baby the two? Because they don't laugh. Me Ghana League manager because me share kwaku siemu bo no mo bo se ne ni petrupi ko ho kwasi ade free asori obi ewura stadium. And now obi ewia o komu to joint. Obi a fan chicken kele di na kwatena bo club ibi. Evia ye tie nwumpa. What's a stadium no 40,000. Nipa wo hotimi 300. 300 mu 150 say mu free. Oh, I say supporters chairman na downfall. Ninia enya sa na esi. Ye league na ye payo nipa be gina ho center line say 3,000. And na sa league na obi stadium a ne ba ho first. Say I will contem. Who be a park na ne abronoma. Almost grass. You see, but your league na super fantastic. This is a league I started. No be $100,000 for preparation. You started league where you both no be player of the season. Mekai Maka Asante delete. Near about top 4. Oh, we are get to blaster be a vessel salmon satem Coca-Cola. Yes. Yeah. Best player Manaka. Do winning league near man van. A bit of Santi Kotoko you see. A ban sign at the same league. If we are saying connect him near my basa because on Grofobid is Sikabe Shebonim. Our more interested in say a betting on the bay. Look at this. Inti league near Fenedia. Your person will be on fire. Sans and Semu or tear. Put them out. Pebabi mo Shakra. Why should you dent the image of a brander? FNA try say a bit more credibility.
Mike, into a fair on the Biasman American the last time, some weeks ago, higher near the scarce, America say, cat can't be more collect than the Pope Sabia or Onka Sabia, the FA president, Ibiana, annual Nipa baby Tusni. But Wabra all tries or Boa League Nanya sponsors, Ama League, say, or no be a dinkumo. I do 75% ABO. And such meetings, no, we can show be able to know Ukraine is Camo. Every okay, and the moment twice in your adma. Next 2 weeks near in your day, ye no one test Uncle Moria. Is it only billions no more? Say, what the home for the number be? Is it fancy? Say a new crew, say a new crew. Ya book game, we team qualify for playoff dada. Now the whole discussion about sent down. You see, inti nipa na oti bank na wenye skabia oni game ya kekama eya fa na opeso ode ne ko game na se ebi on pe football anyo mutu ase na ode ne beko. You see, the people in the game na essay game no inti sa de opeso obi driving a community like Techiman say Premier League bawa unim ni nipa ombehwe. Yes, we say what you say, me de maka. Me disappointment we fe mu and say sembi say munyate ya. Pamono man nkoche baby. We don't have to waste time. Because you are sending proposals to offices, corporate bodies. And nipa no so bebre hwe radio ibi ebi hwe TV ibi, ebi tie radio online. Do you think say the managing director, whoever is in charge, who sa ade we are or be associated with near person. So Sanyoma with me personally,
many and it's something we should find ways to put it out of our league. Other than that, the next generation and they nim halan ne we musika omoje young boys or more primary or pejesia o musa kotoko jesi or pejesia o musa has by yanso ne ehwe don bote play am penasem da because of ni brilliance.
So guys say na fa from call a you baby affairs na koroko
yes
Rachel
yes and then
Central Barracks to Rage.
Yes, and idea
Security tones will crowd be.
Yeah,
one time you actually my boy in your choirs and almost say in the command the name won't be drew. Soldiers will want to couple guys at times. You turn tomatoes and more company be a only no more 10 tomatoes can say how you are now. Why are no now the sense? Yeah, or both two.
Now more two say.
We are killing our game and killing our game. These are some of the issues say your league, you know. Chacha tuo ye kama referee. You see, Obia wanna see but who as football this time around hitting the issue and it may be a free bar. If no one there, but in this instance there. Uncle Conjo be a wet Tiesika and he say you see and you're good for our league. Honestly,
I turn in the same line as Tivo and Namano. Sebi, Yamanuma be say Kokwa. And Komo be say, Nana, you did won't commodify the brand of Ghana football. Acha be 1 or 2 weeks, you won't see any refi. Say Obika Sembi say, until say, before Frobese Sia, be involved around the same kind of people. And at the same time,
be an as good at the coin.
Oh, what is here? And come on, once I shall say now, you ever find a near new. But the two of them, anybody that is involved, we need to call that person to order. Now, Mr. President, the product new crown, we are second vice or calf. So integrity key, especially within your vicinity and the kind of league and the respect you earn over there among your various federation heads. And in command your mubedi. You might be saying me and Tanasema from my being for China, yes, I'm being common for na bibi sanko to baby. I won't say obi a right and obi a wrong, but the fact that there has been monetary payment will be a being and wakase say dear. There's a boneno omuni mubi omadi. Mobi am a dance or in the country say we know a fabianum no becan say we mutakabida. Namuda Kwakosha said that time we now need the right state of mind. No krenan wa pine in our wakana. Fancy, let's not also act as hypocrites. Adiwe e koso wo ye league anymore. Let's not act like he as a saint. Debbie. E koso wo league name. By yemfo be an example. Let's use somebody as an example. Techima is one of the marketing one of the biggest I think West Africa cry. Techima market or market days.
Yeah, so some years back, yes. I was and the second biggest or the largest.
Yes, market, yeah. Yes. So fancy, imagine say you are playing in the Ghana.
Time and 11 on this. So say driver call.
What is a market day?
They drew certain amount to say amount for patronizing.
Charlie, let's not be doing this.
Nice to shout out to you a qualifier back.
So
one that's one of bullying say. How can we now deal with before
the way and so far so fancy. And run near Wadakujachi. Koroko team ni be drew on by 220. Now Coach Abdul Karim Zito ni players and it's nasi di nkomo for almost 1 hour 10 minutes. Almost free bus ni man or bet na down on also the akunya no tenasi. The distance between baby Ubejina and the Obekana, there are few things in Abitimiate. But the posted the whole discussion was around the post Hasselfolk game.
Okay.
And looking forward towards the next games are Koroko say you crucial because league the movie. No matter what, and I bet now analyze it how difficult it is. But how difficult it is in our paper. So more bobo na nkasa na tipak na so ye training and run. But there is one thing that surprises me. For the first time, I know Kofi Asante training. Kofi Asante. Oh, you're training. Koroko, and then they sign a contract. From what I've heard, they say any contract, a 1 year contract, and I think it's a 6 months contract and a performance-based related contract. Due to say all bano, and we say Koroko kra no mo sheda nyesho and registration is to delay kakra. It is some due diligence to do 1 or 2 things about the health, no. And sheda ma gidi sa. It Koroko training office oba kotoko free second round na is starting no mobile ma kotoko na wo. Onye training kra.
I feel no way.
And now training. But there are a lot of questions in my mind. Say, now the due diligence now I risk it. How could I obey? So be trianaka. Boy, the suppression one casa. Boy, no, pra, it's a boy, no. So why do you do this? And the last 3 games, they don't want training moves, no. Because the clubhouse, Tianaka, Didi, Koba, winning bonus, Bibia, Alibegwa. That is it. Then Nam Sako, Siasan, and Nam Prasha, who could show to give due diligence no man, Nakofa winning at Yaba. By the season, a query, yeah. Don't be surprised when one of the players will be out of the door for Kumasa Sante Koroko. Number 2, Isaac Menta. Number 3, Adriana GT. Don't be surprised. Says 3 players are about Mudino. Serious season now. First. They'll be out of the door. Sure?
Oh, now Pamo one.
I'm Pamo Sanamati.
Say
Adriana GT.
Nigerian. That we get a guy now shake go.
Yes.
Now we are.
Yes. Isaac Menta. Kwesi Asante. Don't be and yes, baby be on the out. Quick. Na maso okuna do hu nkomo na enam no ne house of folk adi nkomo no ko house ne ade ne nyina no. Fancy the truth of the matter ne said there has been discussions between house of folk and maso okuna do. But as to so be join house no, I'm telling you for a fact. Sisi an ejina be 70-30 say 70 onko 30 ejina fa ako obeko.
Na Maxwell Bananka Watara ye technical director and advisor.
For that one I don't know. Where they will put
Black Stars in ano.
For where they will put Watara there. No kreni nyame I don't know. But there has been conversations.
101.3.
But fancy, the politics is still going on because Kroma say no supporters no more Kroma na koshia so okunadu.
Has supporters.
There be Kotoko supporters. Ebimu mpanyifo ni bi omudi team na nim se kese ni bi anim no. Amuni maso okunadu akoye meeting.
Na say Zito so to me the miracle na omunya trophy now on show interest bia so be
Zito was brought to Kumasa Sante Kotoko as the technical director.
So Bibia to Messi.
Bibia bet Messi, but the structure of Kotoko almost see appointed Zito so a technical director. And I'm speaking to it as Zito as the technical director.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going any more than that. Now maso kuna do nkomo no ene nam ho no ene Kotoko nsensem no. The stumbling block here de ba ko pe Coach Kwesi Apia.
Ese coach why they say o ma ejuma bom.
There be enya se coach aye bibia anomunya ejuma bom da. Se say no Koroko ade no ma ye no when it comes to sporting decisions the final decision the
rest
on most of the time near Kwesi Apia. Because Nana Penkra aye ball no sisi afi na we gain more experience. But opo nipa bia wa ya to de bia nyoma kire so bi bia go to Coach Kwesi Apia. Ana Coach Kwesi Apia so nkomo so mudidi wa bontene ne ba bia ne na mo chene nkofo pese om de mo bani na na ka ja munya broni akomo pe.
Okay.
Broni fita. No abete no aba be ye adwuma no. But baby a season na kwa kudru no. These conversations will come up because crucial games in the Koroko anim. And season in be end. A bit more switch attention away. But Enra Zito Benton said the next few games na can. These boys should give their all. Kwesi Asante so alande. no more Fanji League, no. Weekend, we more call the FA Cup. They will be there and they will want to win it. Intense training after the meeting over about 1 hour. But Korokonyoma no more ye won chair no fancy. You who say BC clubhouse, ABCD, ABC way, there be. Nyame adu much na. You better be chida ko dey put your boy ko training ground so.
Project na starting.
Omo dey concrete ni your money bibia pillars cross ma sha say she bi won. Pitch na we actually see the crowd o ma ye cross atwa so. See. Omo dey mowa dey we actually see no. Dey na share no. Omo atwa so aye bibia kama. What I say? No crown on Babesa. No, ask to Tiffany Suguso. But omo ye building edifice bi o. And a man for so a hostel. Your uncle my baby didn't have me at watch now.
And I'm my mom.
Okay. So only time there.
I'm coming Brennan's was on there.
Okay, no problem.
Oh, try to my new okay. Oh, Ewa. Oh, they not trying to business day here, because of what's there.
Say a guy no more can once.
Siemens Vita.
Wow, yeah, Bema Bia Uchika. Where the 35 years and over. Oh, see problems. Koto a guy. Where me a man kasama dance here, the answer kwa no mo de omaka. We are brand 35 years, Uchika, what tenase che. We see waste problems. And it is affecting you in so many ways.
I see no so the hunya
kada. When ya guy ni bi awaye ho. Enti me mo kakra me ma dance na media cheo.
We talk show ya na awie.
A guy. E duro na da so no. Siemens Vita heba mixture. Kai. Fancy a year to my waste problems in Edronie.
No one for the talk from a shop.
Waste problem. Dear friend, Sisiemo Haubiano. Make a draway, Najemi.
I say, Omon Fabim,
what's Nasecho drivers. Oh, we're doing it.
Whoa, fantastic. Any inquest, Mike, I said it.
Fantastic. Ejuma nana Mike ayon. Because I don't see really anoding. Pa.
Yeah, that's if he na Michael Sunyamisano. Ne abedwafo nyina yankopon kan. Ai. Michael yeni nyina
my capsules already. Ana ma me mesha me. Mesha di kan ma me so omoje. Ai. Ana ma me foforo na de capsules so. Ai. Ana me mo se pita jene no. And me so abeba ho me de be ha. Aka wo ye ton.
Why Shadrack? If you have some.
Openi kasani nkwa.
Yo, fancy whether see you.
I don't know nya den sa aka me. Sika show ata so nya sika nya ina adama no. But azara de.
Etifo ni arefo e bu bia kwa ba de ba Pimsan Company Limited. Drew was why they about bonte friend Siemens Vita Herbal Mixture and then the capsules. Drew na dem ran dey agan no. No one se ba ne ya kan ni nyina awie. Ni ka kire so bi ana de wonte ana se unhunu aduro na e de kanfo de ama mo amhwe TV ne de obehu se aduro no e da screen so se aduro we ne kanfo de ama no ne mixture no de ne capsules no obi o wa tibrem problem pa spine problem wontimi na wontimi ntenase wontimi nante wontimi nya adwuma no me pa to aduro we e na e aduro a e be boa ama yaw ne nyina afiri ho akwa ama afen so me ka se obi won ma on de ne sisi na osisi no tie ne pa me mfa mfiri ba bia ansam de abesi osisi ne so se uyo obi a hemorrhoids how and I say piles how koko how pa me pa cho insan aduro agan ho enkoto aduro fufuro bia koto aduro mixture no ene ne capsules no wo de frɛ number no na ya no ni nkomo ne enkyerɛ aduro no se de si ye if you say obi a wo a chi problem se bia na chi eya ne jaden den ontimi ntrase ontimi nya hwe no se do besia no no ene obi a ne sisi ye ne ya no no ya na nsonso ye dem pa etu frɛ ya ne ya kyerɛ se do besia no no afen so mekan koko no ebi a wo de no ukoja na ya wo nse na moja de akire moja na bright red ho asem ne kan de ye kokokokokoko no ɛno ho asɛm ne kan na yɛ hemorrhoids no sɛ wo deɛ ne saa na tie deɛ mpacho tumika to aduro no bi to nsuo no na to pae na frɛ ne nkyerɛ wo sɛ de obesi anom no afei nso obi wa ne deɛ na besisi ne to kwan na no bo sɛ bibia besisi ne to kwan na no obi deɛ rectal prolapse sɛbi okogya ne na bo sɛ na kokobo no na eba eyi aba na moja nam ho saa mepacho saa nipa no to aduro no bi nom pains na wo fam no yaw na wo te no unum aduro no to aso mprensa ne nyinaa begyae moja no so mprensa ne nyinaa betwa yenimaduro na ye ka ho asem no Semens Vital Herbal Mixture enam se wanya saa wo ha no koko no wo so nti ama usisi ni o ya den wo ya ho hwenye da bia akọ toilet wa je so chim saa aduro we emfa wo yam nanso no mu a ebeboa ma usisi ya de no eni chim a wo chim ne ha wo fam nyina no ni nyina to atwa ni nyina so be fa ya number no 0240
0240
61
61
60
60
61
61
0240
0240
61
61
60
60
61
61
and that's 0205
0205
57
57
35
35
55
55
star number sim nyina obetima send e WhatsApp ni send e drone picture